Hello, this is Tim Dalan. I'm the mayor of Rio Vista, Texas, and I'd just like to bring you up to date on a couple of things that occurred today. This morning at 9 o'clock, the county judge and the county commissioners met, where the county judge reaffirmed his directives from the last couple of days as far as limiting contact, approving essential services, telling us what you could and couldn't do. And that information was already passed in a previous video that we shared. So I'm not going to go back through all those things again, but the documentation is on the city website. If you would like to go back over it again and find out what is and isn't permitted, please remember the big things that you are to remain in your place of residence. People are wrongly saying that we have a remain in place order. A remain in place order, if issued, would require you to stay exactly where you are when that order took effect. So this is a remain at your residence order that applies to the people who live in that residence, family members or roommates or whatever. If you live in a residence, you are asked to stay there unless you're going to work or going to one of the essential businesses, such as a restaurant, the doctor, the hospital, to pick up food for takeout, that type of thing. So that's still in effect. So that happened at 9 o'clock this morning, and the judge had issued an order on the 27th that was to expire this Friday, April 3rd, and he put it in front of the county commissioners today, and they voted to extend that. So that has been extended. It's now extended through, it doesn't have an expiration date, but he has put a couple of those out the last couple of weeks, and he keeps every couple of days will reissue that for the county commissioners to vote on it again, although the order as signed and approved by the county commissioners do not put an end date on it. It indicates that it's in force until it's rescinded. So those same items take effect, and as I said, that document and the prohibited and the essential places that you can go are on our city website. The governor's call this afternoon at a little after 2 o'clock, he went over the same document, well, not over the same document, but he approved a lot of the same things, or reapproved, extended a lot of the same things that he had already said, but what was different this time is that he, according and following the guidelines of President Trump, he has extended his directive through the end of April. And he is, for the example of the essential places, and his document will be on our city Facebook page by tomorrow sometime too. So the same, he's given us, the citizens, his list of essential places as well as the restrictions, and they follow along the same lines as what he had already shared and what the county has already shared. So you can still go to the grocery store, the bank, gas stations, hardware stores. You can hunt, you can fish, you can go to convenience stores, you can pick up food, do the same things you were doing before. But remember, you still have to maintain a 6-foot distance. And over again on all these calls, all these meetings, all these video conferences that I've been on, that has been their biggest thing that anybody has said as far as slowing down and stopping the spread of this virus, is to maintain that 6-foot distance. So please remember, wherever you are, even if you're in a permitted place, please try your hardest, your best to maintain this 6-foot distance. That is the big thing. So he has extended his directive, his proclamation, through the last day of April, April 30th. Also, he has closed all Texas schools up or through May 4th, 2020, and said that that date may be extended. He's directed that all Texans should follow the President and CDC's hygiene guidelines, and those guidelines are stay the 6 foot apart, wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands, avoid close contact with people who are sick, stay home when you are sick. You know, I know that a lot of times you might not, something doesn't feel quite right, but you still have to go to the store and get a gallon of milk. Well, just remember, you have to really think about it this time, that if you somehow don't feel good, please call somebody to bring a gallon of milk to you. Please don't go out and put others at danger, put others at risk for that gallon of milk. Just think about it a little harder now. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue, then throw the tissue in the trash and wash your hands again. Disinfect surfaces, buttons, handles, knobs, and other places touched often. Those are the guidelines from the CDC, the state, as far as preventing and slowing down the spread of this virus. So please pay attention to those. So big things to take into account. The judge's order has been extended. The county commissioners have voted on it. The governor has extended his directives through the last day of April, April 30th. Schools will not open again through May 4th, or until May 4th. A lot of the same things. Stay away from nursing homes. Don't go, you can't visit people in the hospital there. You can't go into restaurants, but please do pick up. We have some great restaurants here in Rio Vista, great places to eat. Please pick up, please continue to use those places. They got some great food. Also remember though, servers or people that work in restaurants, not all the people who work in restaurants make what we consider minimum wage. There is a minimum wage for certain wait staff, and I know some or all of the restaurants in Rio Vista exceed that minimum amount. But just remember that the wait staff, they count on making those tips. And as the rest of us, we're all on tight budgets. We're having things going on that, we weren't really prepared for. But remember that when you're doing a pickup, a takeout, however, remember to tip the people. Try to tip them as much as you would if you were sitting there and dining in. Yes, maybe they didn't work as hard. That's a bad thing to say. Maybe they might not have provided the services as correctly or as much as they did when you were dining in, but please remember there's a lot behind this, and please tip as you would have before. I do want to end with one thing, and there's a little bit of I know we've passed, how you can find out about the infectious rate, how many people are infected in Texas, what county, that type of thing, and that's on our website too. But some of it is a little bit conflicting. One of the documents that we have shows that we have 8 cases in Johnson County, but the judge indicated today that we have 10. Now, regardless of how you look at that, he didn't give us names, didn't give us cities, although we have found out were cities that some of the infections are in. But these are ages of the people, these 10 that the judge says we have in Johnson County. And this is not just a disease of young people, or it's just not a disease of old people, that young people aren't affected as much, that they won't get as sick. So they, the younger you are, you might feel a little bit bulletproof on the subject. But the ages of those who are sick enough to go to the doctor and hospital to get tested, 47, 39, 47, 29, 59, 41, 30, 25, 68, and 34. So I think most, if not all of us that would watch this video later fall somewhere in that group. And even if you are younger, even if you are very healthy and don't feel that you would get as sick as some might if you did catch this. Just please remember that even though you might not feel too bad if you're infected with this, you are just as infectious to other people. So if you are younger and you get sick and you don't feel too bad, but you know that you have it or suspect that you have it, all it takes is a cough, a sneeze, a handshake, a hug in the wrong place around the wrong person, and you've infected somebody that could very possibly suffer serious consequences because of the infection. So please take this just as serious regardless of your age. That is pretty much it. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but remember that we're in this together. The city of Rio Vista, we do not feel that we're going to try to impose anything more strict than what the county or the state already has. So just keep expecting us to pass along information that we receive from the county, that we receive from the state, and sometimes it might be a couple days apart, a week apart, and then sometimes I might pass information along on a daily basis. But please think of others, please be kind, please remember your 6-foot distance, whether you're in one of the big box stores in Cleburne or one of the smaller establishments here in Rio Vista. Please maintain the 6-foot distance. If you're in the store and you see 2 items that you're looking for and you only need one of them, please only take one. Don't take 2. Leave one for the next person. Help your neighbor out. Help your friend out, as long as it's within the guidelines that the state and the county have given us. This is, I know a lot of people feel bad for the kids at school, especially the seniors. They're missing out on prom, maybe graduation. They're doing their school online, but this is serious business, and we're here. We all want to help each other. I'm very happy to see that the fire department has received their personal protective equipment, their PPE, and that they have started training with it. So we know that the fire department, if they have to respond for a case of sickness, that they will be covered now and they'll be protected. So please be careful, please be safe, and if you have any questions, please call City Hall and we'll help you as we can. Thank you very much for your time. Sorry to take up too much of it. Okay? Have a good day, have a good night, and we'll let you know as things are happening.